This is the secret weapon. This thing has helped me write screenplays so incredibly much. Basically, it's a theory of Charles Peirce, and I think it's a pretty damn good one. I don't know if it's true or not, but it helps me become a better screenwriter. He theorizes that we learn things in a three-part process, that there's a beginning of learning, a middle of learning, and an end of learning, which he calls 1, 2, and 3. Or he also calls firstness, secondness, and thirdness. The quality of firstness, the quality of secondness, the quality of thirdness, the quality of beginning, the quality of middle, the quality of end. It's just the way we're introduced to things, the way we reason things out in our minds, and the way we form conclusions of things. In between points 1 and 2, there's going to be a threshold. There's going to be a point where 1 almost becomes 2, and you get a unique thing happening right here. And then as 2 moves toward 3, you have another unique thing happening here. And then once you've concluded something, your conclusion is kind of the melding of, it'll make sense. Let me just do this. So the term that he uses for the halfway point is 1, 2. The term that he uses for this halfway point is 2, 3, and the term for this halfway point is 1, 3. And in the center, you have all points 1, 2, and 3. It will make sense as I go along. But just know that this is the quality of 1, the quality of 2, the quality of 3, and this is a perfect combination of both. This is a perfect combination of 1 and 2, a perfect combination of 2 and 3. And it goes linearly like this. We learn things. This is something that we want to learn. And as we learn it, something happens here, something happens here, something happens here, here. And the final stage here is basically memory. We have a memory of whatever we just learned. Step 1 represents some object, like this spoon. When we're babies, we play with spoons, we learn words, we learn concepts. So stage 1 represents an object outside the mind, or an abstract concept, or an idea. The next moment is the process of perception, or the 5 senses, where we touch it, we taste it, we can smell it, we can hear it, but we go through a process of taking the external object into our minds, at which point we make evaluations. We evaluate this new object, or this new language that we're trying to learn, or a new concept that we're trying to learn. And then there's a process of deduction, where the brain figures out in a split second everything that the spoon is not, until we conclude this is a spoon, or this is a thing, or this is whatever it is. I'm thinking of the Michelangelo quotation where he carves a statue, and someone said, "Wow, how did you carve that statue?" And he said, "Simple. I just took away everything that is not the statue, and then the statue was left." So this deduction moment, the deduction represents all the marble that's been stripped away, leaving you with the conclusion, and then that conclusion is then stored in your memory. The whole process he calls semiosis. And it goes in this linear process where we then form beliefs. There are certain things that we just hold true based on our interactions with things. So in the movie, the gods must be crazy. Yeah, it's an African tribe. They're very primitive. They don't even wear clothes. And a Coca-Cola bottle arrives in their village. They have no idea what it is. They have no clue what it is. So I'm just going to imagine this cup. Imagine that you've never seen a cup before. You've never seen this cup. So this cup is an object outside of your mind. We can perceive it. We can touch it, taste it. We can dig a hole in the ground with it. And our brain automatically starts to evaluate this object. We form deductions, make a conclusion, and store in our memory, this cup is a shovel, or this cup is for drinking, this cup is a beautiful piece of art, whatever we decide.